Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a hot minute since I posted. I just had to take a step back. I mentioned this on Instagram, but I subconsciously stopped putting stuff out on YouTube just because my life has been so overwhelming and I just couldn't do it all. So today I'm gonna sit down and do kind of a life update for you guys and just kind of fill you in on what's been going on, and hopefully you guys can relate to some of it. But if not, maybe you just a little insight into my life. If you're new here, thank you so much for watching. Usually my content is not like this. It's typically a lot more uplifting, more fun, we're joking, we're laughing, but today we're just gonna pause that. No, we'll laugh and we'll joke. But I did want to come on here because surprisingly, a lot of you messaged me on Instagram and asked if I was okay and where I've been on YouTube, which I was very surprised because I didn't expect that. I honestly don't feel like people would miss me if I just stopped YouTubing. So that was really sweet of you guys to just kind of reach out and see if I was okay. I am okay. Like I said, just going through some life stuff. But let's rewind. So Taz and I both made a video on, I think, Friday or Saturday of last week, and I had every intention of posting it before I filmed it. And when I filmed it, we were on our way to go see a house, or so we thought, and I just lost it. I started crying. I have been pushing down what I've been feeling for so long. A lot. I'm just so frustrated. Because it's been a very rough few weeks, and like a lot of people, I'm sure. But what I said in that video was that I kind of suppressed my feelings about a lot of things for a while, and then it kind of just exploded with everything. So I'm here to sit down, not cry, and tell you guys what's going on because I wanted to be a big girl, put my big girl panties on, and talk like an adult. So I thought about kind of just grazing and telling you guys what was going on, like on a macro level, but I really wanted to bring you in because I think part of the reason that I am in this season of frustration is because I don't see anybody really talking about their obstacles and things that they're, trying to face head on. And a lot of people just share their highlights and their highlight reel, which is, there's nothing wrong with that. But I don't want to be one of those people that just share everything that's great in my life, because things are definitely not all that great right now. Do not get me wrong. I'm healthy. My family's healthy. Everything is great. But there are just things right now that Taz and I are going through, that I'm going through, that I really wish we weren't going through. So let's just dive right in. First and foremost, I got a new job. I started a new job helping a company here in Houston with their social media. I am working about 15 to 20 hours or so for them. So that's kind of why I've pulled back a little bit. I literally just started like a month ago. So I'm still trying to figure out my new schedule. I don't want to leave YouTube anytime soon. I just needed to take a step back and figure out how many videos a week I'm going to be posting, how I can make it happen, etc., etc. So that's that. Like I said earlier, I had like a little breakdown because I just could not internalize it anymore. I'm trying to think of where I should start. So you guys know that we had a Mexico wedding plan for September, and we had to cancel that because of obviously COVID. And at that point, when we decided to kind of just change it all up and do a wedding here in Houston, things were looking better. Now, we put down the deposit for our wedding here in Houston, and literally the next day, guys, the news was just going crazy that Houston's spiking, 6,000 cases a day, like all of that stuff. And we had hope because where we're getting married is not right in Houston. It's like an island right outside of Houston called Galveston. And so when we went, he told us that cases are very low. They're not closing anything down. We should be fine. And so I kept hopeful, and I just, there was like a tudge in my heart that's like, I don't know, I didn't have peace about it. I was very anxious about it. So I went on the Galveston website, and their government mandated them to all wear masks. And the kicker was that it was until September 30th. And Harris County, where we live, is mandating everything until August 23rd. So the fact that they're doing it through September kind of makes me uneasy a little bit because obviously my wedding is in September. They also had a graph, like a do's and a don'ts, and it said don't gather in even small groups, and the whole thing, I went back to our wedding venue, which is being so gracious about everything. They're being really, really great. And they just let me know that they had a wedding this past weekend, and they were given the option of wearing masks or no masks. And so I don't know. I don't know that I feel right holding a wedding of almost 90 people. And if someone were to come back with COVID or whatever, I would just, I don't know. So we're still trying to figure out what we're doing with the wedding. I know that it's just a wedding, but it's my wedding, and I just wanted to experience this. Like, I feel like COVID stole that from me. And I know it sounds a little bit dramatic, but it's true. Like, I wasn't able to have a bridal shower. We weren't able to have like a bachelor party or a bachelorette party. Like, all the things that we wanted to do, we couldn't do because of COVID. Like, we can't even do it. Something else that I wanted to mention about the wedding and the whole thing is that I just feel so frustrated because it's like you don't even know what to believe anymore. They're telling us that people that are passing, they're writing the reason as COVID when it's not COVID. They're telling us that asymptomatic people can't transmit the disease anymore. So we have been wearing masks for nothing. Like, so if this is a political thing, and like, I'm not saying that COVID is not real. I 150% believe that it's real. But if they are just making it a lot more dramatic to scare us, and like, you know, that could be a thing, and that's what messes me up, because there are people's lives that have been changed because of this. People lost their jobs because of the closures, and like, it's just overwhelming. That's one of the things. I'm not gonna like sit here and vent and try to talk things through, but that's one of the things. Then here's where it gets really frustrating. So that's the wedding. Moving on, right before COVID hit, and this is when I'm gonna get a little bit personal. I want to share this with you because like I said earlier, people don't share this, and these are real problems that people are having, and I want to be able to I want to be relatable to you. I don't want you to see me and think that I have this perfect life, perfect relationships, perfect, like, because that's not the case. And so right before COVID, I got an email from my PayPal account saying that there was a hold on my money because the government has requested to take it. And at first I thought it was fraud, like a joke, like I was getting pranked or scammed, because it didn't look like a legit email. So I didn't do anything about it. Then that night, I thought to myself, Yami, why don't you just check your account one more time? And when I went to check, everything was gone. They took my money from both PayPal accounts that I have, so my personal and then also my business. And I said, and at that point, it was 11 o'clock, so I couldn't do anything. I said, you know what? I'm just going to put this phone away and tackle it in the morning. I called in the morning. I called PayPal. They couldn't give me any information. They just said that the government put a levy on my account and they had to give them all of my money. And so then I called the IRS, and I was on the phone with them for like 3 hours because they couldn't find information, and my social was wrong and my address was wrong and like the whole thing. And I said, this is actually a joke, because if the IRS is this government agency, like, you should have stuff right. Anyway, long story short, apparently I did not file 2018 taxes. So then I went back to my emails and checked, before calling anybody and yelling at somebody, I checked my emails and I checked my emails for my tax guy who's been doing my taxes since New Hampshire. And I had an email, sure enough, saying that here's all my stuff. Please let me know when taxes are ready. Long story short, the guy never filed my taxes. So looking back, I know that I probably should have followed up with him, but I didn't, because I just, I've had a relationship with a guy for 4 years. He's done my taxes and there's never been a problem, or so I thought. And I just have a lot going on. I am saying that I am partly to blame. Please don't misinterpret. I am partly to blame. But I also think that he should have filed my taxes. But anyway, we had a relationship. He didn't file them. And I had 30 days to file my 2018 taxes. That was literally right before COVID. We did my taxes that day. It took us 24 hours. I mailed it in, and I called them. They said that I'm not going to get my money back until they sort all these things out. Okay, great, perfect. I thought I took care of that. Fast forward to now, Taz and I are trying to buy a house. Pausing that for a second to let you guys know that this has been the most frustrating season of our lives. In full transparency, Taz and I's lease was up, I think it was in April, and we wanted to buy a house back then. We tried twice. We did not get approved twice. So we extended our lease until November. So that's what we're trying to do now, is trying to get approved for a house. Or for a loan rather. So these past couple months, Taz has been working on his credit, and I've been working on that as well, along with my debt to income ratio. We've been working really, really hard on that, and we were really hopeful. We've been working with one lender specifically, and she let us know that we had to be at a mark in terms of his credit score, and he hit it. So we tried to get pre-approved again, and she came back and said that Taz's credit score was 2 points away from getting the loan. So that's that. And then we went to somebody else who said they could help us, and we were on the phone with her. She was sounding so great, and she's like, oh, everything looks pretty good. I'll get a letter to you guys tonight. The next day she calls Taz and they have a conversation, and short story, she told him that I didn't have enough income. So one lender is telling us that his points are down. The other lender is telling us that our income is too low, or my income is too low. There's just so many different things happening. And then in the middle of all of this, like, I think Taz and I want to do a resale and then do some reno. We've been finding houses, and literally the second we're walking out the door, our realtor calls us and he's like, we can't go see it. It just went under contract. That happened twice in a span of 2 days. But I've decided to hold off on looking at any more houses so I don't get my hopes up until we get a pre-approval letter. All that to say is that now we can't get a pre-approval letter because my taxes have not been filed yet. So my taxes haven't been filed yet. I'm working with a new tax guy to help me to sort everything out, because now apparently I owe more money from 2015 that I had paid this other guy to take care of. He didn't do. And so it's just a lot, because I want to have a wedding, I want to buy a house, and now I owe like a bunch of money in taxes. Like, I'm talking about this and I know it probably doesn't sound like much, but this is really frustrating because I feel incompetent. I feel like I can't do anything right. I feel like crap, to be honest. And I'm gonna look up so I don't cry. I just feel like people spoke about this more because everyone makes it look like it's so easy. And no one taught me about my taxes. This guy that is helping me now, bless his soul, he's helping me tremendously and teaching me so much along the way. But it's just been really hard these past couple of days because I feel, like I said, inadequate. I feel like I don't know what I'm doing. I feel overwhelmed. And I know that age shouldn't be a thing, but I see so many people like get a house and their businesses blow up, and I just turned 34 and I shouldn't be I'm literally doing a comparison devotional right now, but I just want to tell it like it is, how I'm feeling and how I've been feeling. So the takeaway I want you to get, this is not me just sharing my information so that you take pity on me. This is me sharing my information and what I'm going through, because I want you to know that you're not alone. If you are going through a season in your life that just feels really difficult and kind of feels like you're not going to get through it and it's just overwhelming, I promise you that it is. And you have to declare the victory before you have the victory. And I know it sounds super cliche, but it's so true. This morning I had a worship party because I know that that's when I feel closest to God, is when I'm worshiping Him and singing songs of praise, because I have to remember the end sight. And I know that God has something much, much bigger for me than I could ever dream up of. And that makes me excited to think that, you know, what I thought, the house that I wanted, it's going to be much better than that because God has that for me. So, and also I'm able to talk about this because I trust God and I trust that He has a much better plan for me than I have for myself. And I just encourage you to seek that, seek Him, and in the process you will receive a peace that surpasses all understanding. And that's what I'm praying for right now. I'm praying for discernment. I'm praying for wisdom. I'm praying for what did I tell Taz the other day? I said Oh, I said peace in the uncertainty. I pray for peace in the uncertainty because everything is so uncertain in our lives right now. Not just mine, but everybody that's being affected by this. And one last thing, I don't want you to think that I'm saying to not vent. Please, please, please vent. Cry it out, because I definitely cried it out. But don't stay there, because that's where the trouble lingers, and that's where the devil wants you to stay, so that he can just chop you, So the devil's is there to still kill and destroy and take away your joy, and we don't want that. We don't work like that around here. You know what I'm saying? So cry it out, but get yourself back up and remember who you are. And I know that I'm not the only person that is going through things, but I did just want to come on, update you guys about what's been going on and how I've been feeling. And also, though, I've been getting a lot of questions about the Levavi series and if it's still happening. It's 1,000% still happening. I am just waiting for those new samples to come in. It's kind of like a hurry up and wait type situation. I don't have anything to kind of do. I did buy new shipping bags and labels, both recycled and sustainable. So I'm really excited to show you guys those when they arrive. I will show you when I film a series. And then I'm also going to start designing for the next collection. So when I start doing that, I will bring you guys along for that as well. That's all I have for you guys. But if you guys have any questions at all, please, please, please don't hesitate in reaching out in the comments section below. I'd be happy to continue the conversation. Just remember to keep your head up. So thank you guys so much for watching. I love you all so much. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. I love ya.